Hi, Angels, my AICE General Paper class. I brought Miss Colleen here to guest star on our weekly lesson plan. You guys have an easy week. All I want you to do is focus hardcore on your essay that you just finished writing. I'm in the process of giving you guys feedback, reading them over, giving you edits, giving you suggestions, giving you questions to think about. So I need you to guys to read my comments and rewrite your essays as if it were your AICE exam. Why are you making that face?
I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Just
intensely.
Pretend that it is your actual AICE exam. I'm going to be sending out all of those edits tomorrow via email, probably in the morning. So as soon as you get that, you have all week to work on it. So other than your attendance questions, I think that if we were back in school and we were working on an essay, I would dedicate a week to giving you guys the opportunity to peer at it and reread your essays and compare it to a rubric. So that's what we're going to do this week. I hope that makes it a little bit easier on you guys. We did just hear the announcement from Governor DeSantis that we are going to be out of school for the rest of the school year, which devastates me, but I'm so lucky because I get 4 more years of stalking you around the school and giving you hugs and calling out to you and embarrassing you. So it doesn't hurt as much as my seniors, but I will miss the opportunity to give you one final little speech, our final hugs, final hellos and goodbyes, but don't forget that I'm going to be there next year for you guys. So since I have Miss Colleen on here and we're closing out the school year, I decided to create a couple of interview questions for her to answer for you guys that might be fun or funny or meaningful to you as you continue throughout your high school careers. Miss Colleen has gone through a lot. We've gone through a lot together. We're obviously older than you guys, so we have some meaningful advice that is relevant because we're not too far from high school, but still meaningful because we are also new adults. So I think we have a really good insight into adulthood and what it's like to be a high schooler and what matters and what doesn't. So I've collected actually a couple of your attendance questions revolving around gratitude, as well as some questions that might be relevant about high school. So, are you ready, Miss Colleen?
Yes.
Let's start. How are you feeling today? What are you doing
great.
today? How do you feel? How's quarantine treating you?
Quarantine is good. We're practicing safe social distancing. I actually kind of started the not distancing, 6 feet.
We're about 2 feet apart.
We're about 2 feet apart.
So
but
do what we say, not what we do.
Yeah, exactly. But we started this together, and we have not exceeded seeing anyone else. We've been very calm. I'm living, I'm seeing Susie's parents. Miss Dean. It's a habit, guys. I'm sorry. So I'm seeing Miss Dean's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Dean, and I am working as a nanny full-time, so I only see the family I work for. I know it can be hard, but I think I've worked out the most in the last few weeks. I've read more books than I've had in a long time. I'm really just taking this time, and I think everyone should, to just rest and check in with yourself and check in with people, via FaceTime or text message or email, people that maybe you haven't talked in a while or, you haven't seen, and it's been great. We've had a good weekend. I just think we've really been thriving during this. I'm an extrovert. I love being out and about and meeting new people and seeing people, but I think that this is an important time to kind of bring it in and kind of check in with yourself and, stay close with your family. I know that everyone is in close quarters, but just try and think of fun things to do, like game nights or, I don't know, read a different book or do a virtual book club or a Zoom conference with all your friends. Just there's so many opportunities for you, to kind of keep yourself. But don't underestimate, don't take this time for granted. It's going to go by fast.
We don't want this quarantine to be a waste. We want to make sure that we use this time that we have at home with our families, with our siblings, with our friends that might be down the street to get out in nature, get to know our families better, get to know our friends better, get to know ourselves better, which can be really hard. It can be really hard to sit alone with your thoughts. We practice this a lot with our meditations every week, getting to journal and have actual time with your thoughts, to listen to your thoughts, assess them, figure out where they come from. It can be really scary, but it's a really meaningful time to connect with yourself. So I know Miss Colleen is an extrovert. I'm an introvert. So I gain all of my energy by being alone. I need to be journaling, taking baths, reading books, gardening alone. I need my alone time in order to be the fun, peppy Miss Dean. And if I don't get that, then I'm just the worst to be around. So regardless of what end of the spectrum you're on, this is a really awesome time to get to know yourself, get to know others, practice new habits, develop new hobbies.
And I think too, if you're introvert or extrovert, as freshmen, you guys are, you're kind of starting out your adult life. You're gonna, in the next 2 years, get ready for college and for jobs, and kind of starting. And life is fast, and life it's a lot. It can be overwhelming. So kind of take this time to ground yourself. Don't, like she said, like Christine said, don't waste it, but don't feel like obligated, like you have to do all this stuff. Like do your assignments for Miss Dean, check in, do all of that, and
save money for college by passing our exam.
Yes, but just be present too, and just know that maybe this is a slow down and a little bit of a slow time everyone needed. But life is gonna catch right up to you. So just don't feel like you need to do a lot too quickly.
So if you guys are interested, I'm gonna give Miss Colleen a little interview. If not, which I hope you're not in that group. You can just work on your essay that you've been working on, read my comments, edit it, send it back, and I'll give you a final test grade. But for now, I wanted to ask Miss Colleen, what are some everyday items that you are most grateful for this time?
Oh gosh.
And you have to give an example.
No. Oh, do you want to give me an example?
My lemon squeezer. They know that.
Yeah. Yes.
It gets a lot of the juice.
Honestly, my yoga mat, that's something I have and I've had for a long time. Amazon Prime, that is something, that's a simple thing, but I'm very lucky to have it. My phone, to call and check in with people, that's something we use every day, and a lot of times I feel like it's like for work or for texting or for emails, but like just to like browse or FaceTime.
Now's a really good time to, I know that we have so much time to be on our phones, but it's a really good time to reflect on why you're on your phone.
My screen time went up a significant amount during this quarantine, but I realized I was between trying to balance reading the news, I was looking at supporting local businesses and looking at, I was doing a lot of workouts on my phone. I was using my phone in a different way than how I'm used to spending it, just kind of scrolling through. I feel like I'm more mindful of what I'm doing on my phone, and also like disengaging from my phone, like kind of just using it as a tool and as a resource for things to get me like workouts and books to read and crafts and ideas to use, because I'm working with 2 small children. So to kind of brainstorm, I'm using it way more mindfully. So it's little things like that we use every day that I think now I'm taking, especially like I'm taking it all in, and I'm not trying to take anything for granted.
That's actually a good point that you brought up, that you're using your phone to come up with ideas for the little kids that you watch. We always know, and we like to cultivate in our classroom, that I'm not the only teacher in the room. I use every day, I learn from you guys, and I grow from you guys. I wouldn't be the teacher that I am today without the experiences that you guys have created for me. So if you're watching this video and you have little siblings that are, what, 2 and 4? 2 to 4? 2 to 3?
4, 2
whatever. If you know that your parent is doing something cool with them, or you are doing something cool with them that they really enjoy, that is meaningful, shoot me a text note or mine. Let me know. I'll let Miss Colleen know so that she can do it with her little kiddos. We all want to make sure that this time is not going to waste.
Yes.
So, second question is, what is something that comforts you, that makes you feel really good at home?
Oh.
My answer for this was Panera mac and cheese from Publix, fuzzy socks, and Gossip Girl.
Okay. Yeah, I think just I'm going to work still, so I'm working. So I'm trying to use that time I have after work and just trying to be active engaged as I can be. So I usually go for a run or a workout and just taking a hot shower, putting on like a really comfy little like sweater set and just like relaxing and taking some deep breaths, watching a really good series on Netflix like The Circle. We watched that. That was good. But like just different things and just like taking it in and just breathing and just checking in with myself, but just being comfortable with the things around me. And you know, it's such simple things right now that I think we took for granted, and like normal things that we took for granted for so long, that I'm just grateful for a roof over my head, my bed, a hot shower that I can just kind of just sink right into and go to bed at 9:30, and that's just been the best, most comforting thing for me.
Yeah, it's a really great time to think about the small things that we have, like a bread basket at a restaurant, or
Queso at a restaurant.
Yeah, or having the time to color in a coloring book, or just sit. I mean, sometimes so many of us are like, our lives are so busy with school, and then practice after school, and then homework after school, and then we have to eat dinner with our families, and we have to be engaged with our families, and we have to help watch over our siblings over the weekend, and we have to work on the weekend.
And you have friends, and you're
Crazy.
socializing,
Yeah.
and you have to sleep, and you have to study. It's a lot. So just kind of checking in with what.
All the times that you were like, I wish I had more time for this, now's the time. It's really
Embrace
awesome
it.
for us. I've been planting little vegetable seeds. I'll let you guys know how it's going next week, but I've got some cucumbers and sunflowers that are thriving. So final question, Miss Colleen.
Okay.
For my sweet and lovely freshmen that just like burst open my heart, what is your best advice from going from high school, being in college, being an adult now? What is your best advice for high school freshmen?
I think high school, if I could have honestly 10 years ago told freshman Colleen, Miss Colleen, what was going on, I think the biggest thing is just don't be worried with right now. Like, with quarantine or not, everything you're doing, it seems so big, and it is so important, and it's changing, but it's ever evolving. Like, rumors or boys or grades or teachers or sports or girls, yeah, everything. Like, well, for me, that was in my perspective, but I just know that it's going to change. The biggest thing happening in your life right now isn't forever, and just know that, I don't know, just stand with the feet that, be grounded with the feet you're standing in. So like, just know that like the worst and the biggest thing that could be happening in a few weeks, a few months, no one's gonna be thinking about it, but like when you're looking back as an adult, I just wish I could have shaken Miss Colleen and then given her a hug, because in my head everything was happening. It was so big, it was so important, it was the end of the world, everything that was going on with, you know, test prep and everything that high school throws at you. But I think that just know it's always changing. You are just starting out this beautiful part of your life, and just embrace it, and just know that you can change it, and nothing is truly as bad as you think it is right now. You will surpass. It will. It's a lot. As a 14, 15-year-old.
A lot goes on during college or high school. I remember I was texting someone, and I texted my friend, and I was like, should I say this or this? And I accidentally texted it to the boy, and I threw my phone across the room, and I put my head in my pillow, and I thought it was the worst thing in the world, and now it's a freaking hilarious story.
I remember multiple times saying this is the end of the world, and I think it was either my mom or dad that checked in with me and was like, you realize if it was truly the end of the world, how many times the end of the world it would, like, it's just know that you have so much room, and you have so many resources to change whatever situation you're in, whether it's bad or you think it's the end. It's not. Life is just getting started, so just remember that.
You want to think to yourself, is this going to matter in 5 months or
5
years?
Yeah.
Most likely not. And if it does matter, it's something that's going to teach you and help you grow,
and
not
shape
something that's going to make you
right.
feel weird 5 months or 5 years from now. It's going to be something that's going to be funny. It might be uncomfortable right now, but it won't be later. Whether it's boys, girls, grades, dating, making a sports team.
Oh my gosh, sports.
Losing a game. I remember I got yelled at by my coach, and I started crying because I let this girl get a touchdown after we had watched an hour of film of her doing the same play over and over again. And I mean, it was the worst thing in the world by letting my team down at that point, but it taught me a lot about teamwork, and it taught me a lot about not taking myself seriously. We're all going to make mistakes, we're all going to do well, and it's just important to have grace for ourselves at this time.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for listening to my Miss Colleen interview. I will have another guest on next week if you guys like it. Don't forget to do your essays. Do them well, do them hard, work hard on them, answer your attendance questions every day, and keep in mind, make sure you're editing this essay as if you were sending it to Europe for Cambridge. That's all I have to say. I'll talk to you guys later. I miss you so freaking much.
Bye, guys. Virtual hugs.
Virtual hugs. Bye.